This way forever. Lauren Jackson.
Rapping Mighty Eagles at NCCU. This is Channel 9 AudioNet. This is the Juice, the hottest HBCU radio station in the nation.
Yeah.
We are back. We are back now. This is what we've been waiting. We've been waiting for like what? Like how many weeks been waiting for this?
I think like 2-3 weeks.
Like two weeks. We've been waiting for this now. Now the guest I got in here, let me explain something to y'all. Me and Tony personally invited them because we saw real hip hop for the first time in God knows how long. Like
never.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate
not
that.
Lying. Not lying.
But yeah, not live. But you know what? I'm gonna let them introduce yourself. I want y'all to introduce yourselves right quick.
Yo, what's up? This is Tracy Lamont. I started the North Carolina Central Cypher about 4 Tuesdays ago, and these dudes came out, saw us rap, told us to come out to the radio station. Daggone Snow Blizzard got us all caught up, or Snowpocalypse 2016. They got us caught up, but we finally out here, man. We appreciate y'all for bringing us out here.
Hey, my name Tony, aka stage name Konvo The Mutant.
Tony.
Keep going. Real talk, nah, man. These fellas came out here and saw us do what we love to do every single time, and they just supported us, man. And so, you know, had to come through, show love, do it again and again anytime we ask for it.
Yeah. Now, so let me tell you what the funny story was. So me and Tony, we was in my dorm, and we was basically we was coming up with some segments, you know, for the next show. And my girl, she called me and she said, "Yo, Tree, come outside because they got some dudes in the Greek Bowl doing a cipher." I said, not too many people on Central campus can rap that I know of.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Except for like 2 of them. So, you know, one of them was our guest boss, and another one that's a surprise that we're gonna have later.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I came out there, and probably I heard them rapping probably like in 35 minutes, a whole, like at least Baines, Andy Day, Rush, and Eagleson came out there, and we was probably out there till like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, and then I was like, yo, we gotta get these dudes on the show.
For real.
Yeah, so let me ask y'all, you know what I'm saying, how long did y'all get started? Like when did y'all start this rapping thing? Because, you know, this is not like an easy thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So when did y'all start it? You know, like tell us like your background, like where you from, you know, like what was your motivation? Then, you know, just give us a breakdown of who y'all are.
Wow. Yo, well,
Telling your story.
man, I'm from Virginia, originally from Manassas. It's a small town. But,
Manassas, Virginia? Okay, my boy from Manassas.
It's like
okay.
25 minutes outside of D.C.
Yeah,
Everybody know each other.
DMV.
You know, get into some stuff, what have you. Man, I've been rapping since I was like 9 years old, though. I started just writing over songs on the radio, you know. Like, back in the day, you had the cassette tapes and stuff.
Right.
So I would, like, put tape over the, like, my mom's joints, like the Kenny G tapes or whatever tapes that she had. I would put tape over it so I could record over it, and I would record rap songs over it, and I would write to those rap songs. So that's how it started. Then about probably 13, 16, I started making beats. And then came out here after college and stuff, started doing the cypher with my man Rowdy, who's supposed to be on his way. Linked up with my man Tony, Daggone Konvo, and from the ECU cypher, and now we're here, man.
That's what's up.
Shoot, man. My journey started in New Jersey, in Vauxhall. You're not gonna know where that is. Don't look for it. But if it helps you a little bit, it's in between Irvington, Newark, and the Oranges. So if you're from that area, you know where that is. You know, that's where I am. But my story is a little bit different. You know, coming from that kind of area where all trouble passed through, I always had to find some kind of light. So I would have to listen. My mom used to put, you know how we used to have the VHSs back in the day? Well, my mom would put VHS, Disney VHSs on tapes. So we would listen to them in the car. Eventually, I got tired of listening to the songs. When I figured out what rap was, I started trying to rap over Disney songs. As that kept progressing, I stopped for a little bit, started doing a little poetry. Then I went back into writing again, and then it just kept going from there. I still remember the first rap I wrote.
Word.
First one, it is trash.
Yo, I wrote
Pure, utter trash.
Hey, we all gotta start somewhere, cause I bet you it's way better than some of the rappers out here nowadays. Shoot.
Facts.
Yeah, but so
selling one of my old tracks.
yeah, so when you know, as a rapper, you know, a lot of people have different mindsets when they go in, you know, when they start writing their music. So for y'all, you know, like I see y'all freestyle, and the crazy thing is like with y'all freestyles, it's not even like y'all wrote it. It's just basically like whatever comes to your head, you start spitting. Because I remember like you told me like just like that, like say a random word, and you just came out of nowhere, you just killed that. So like how does that process with y'all when y'all start spitting?
As far as just like the cipher?
Yeah, like it's like rapping, like doing the cipher, like what is the motivation behind y'all music?
Oh man,
those are two different questions.
Those are two different questions.
I throw it at y'all like that.
The motivation behind my specific music, which I think Tracy can agree with as well, is we are really trying to change the world. We see so many problems that aren't addressed. Similar to some of the things that you all talked about earlier today. But we see that in we try to portray that and try to solve those or make suggestions with our music. And like I said, we just really try to change the world now. Now being able to freestyle and do that, it's I think that comes from a place of imagination. And I was telling you earlier, that a lot of people lost their imagination. And without imagination, you can't really do as much as you would have done before. Like if you think about it, everything that gets invented, it's not just science, it's science and imagination.
Right.
You got to be able to go to that next level. But that's just me when it comes to freestyle. I don't know, Tracy got different.
As far as freestyling, man, to be honest with you, for me it's kind of just practice.
Right.
I'll be completely honest with y'all. When I first started at the UNC Cypher, it was probably like, I want to say a little under a year ago, probably like 8 months with my man Rowdy. We was on Franklin Street. I was terrified to like rap, like to not rap, but like to cipher in public or whatever, just out on the street. And I didn't think I was good. So after probably like a couple weeks, I was just busting off lines, and people was coming out, started getting the vibe, feeling the love, and really learning about what the culture of hip hop really was started on, and the foundation, which was actually to reach people and bring messages that the other mainstream qualities or pop music, pop culture couldn't bring our people. So kind of piggyback off what Konvo said, man. That's essentially what the message and the pursuit of anything as far as this music is.
So y'all a rap duo?
I mean, that's another question on its own. I mean, we do a lot of work together. We're actually working on a project together right now.
Titled Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, titled Heroes for Hire. But we do have our individual lanes too. We're actually thinking about, maybe taking some things a little further. But as those things develop, we'll let them out. But for right now, man, we both two individual cats, but we homies, we brothers. We definitely gonna keep building together to push, hip hop and NC.
So y'all like the J. Cole and Kendrick of North Carolina?
I wouldn't even say that.
Not at all. We the Konvo and Tracy Lamont.
Yeah, like
there you go.
Yeah.
I hear that.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I used to get comparisons like that all the time. Not even gassing myself. I'm just telling you what I have gotten. I'm just telling you what I've gotten, and it really angers me sometimes, because it's like, when you compare people, you don't give people an opportunity to just be themselves and be who they are.
Right.
So I fight every day to make sure I can only give Tony on my music. Only Tony, only Konvo. And I'm sure Tracy does the exact same thing every time he makes a beat, because he's also a producer. Plug.
Wow.
Whoa. He's also a producer, and I personally have spit on some of his beats, so I know what that's like. But yeah, man, no. I will say they're inspirations, but like them.
Alright, so what's in the future for you guys? And let me ask you, so like BT Cypher, hip hop awards, maybe Love and Hip Hop, what's going on?
Never.
Like,
Love and hip hop is a definite no for me. I don't know about Konvo.
If I were to ever do something like that, it would be to purposely ruin the show.
Okay, so
I'd be the most well-behaved person on that show. It wouldn't even make sense.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm wherever anybody needs me, If you gonna pay the booking money, or you're gonna pay the fly to get me out there, I'm gonna come, I'm gonna perform the show, I'm gonna get your crowd hype. I'm sure Konvo gonna do the same. Like we gonna give you a show. So I mean, I'm wherever they want me. If BET wanna call me, North Carolina Central, y'all want me at the homecoming next year, we out there. We out there.
We got spring fling down.
We got spring fling around the corner.
Right around the corner,
Okay.
Call me.
So we got going on. We can make that happen, but so okay, I'm gonna say this. now that, everybody says, today, like, hip-hop is dead. Because, back then, I'm from New York, so, I'm from the Bronx where rap originally, started.
Originated.
Thank you, whatever.
Now, I gotta get you together.
I feel like, New York hip-hop has lost its soul. Because, we had rappers that had it, like, Big had it, Ja Rule had it, 50 had it, like we had our own style, but now I feel like we don't have no style. And they say like, like the South is taking over the rap game. So my question to y'all is hip hop dead to y'all? And if so, like how do we like get it, like how do we relive it again?
I believe that hip hop is only as dead as the fans of hip hop allow it to be.
Okay.
It's not, it's not the artist's fault that that hip hop is dead. I mean, we can put some of the blame on it, but I mean, if you support whackness, then whackness is going to flourish.
Okay.
Right.
You have, it's almost like a plant. If you keep flowering a plant, it's gonna grow and it's gonna be healthy. But if you just take that water away, take away the soil, all the nutrients it's gonna get, even if you take away that light. No photosynthesis.
Spencer, scientist, Spencer like a scientist.
You over here trying to start the
Then
cipher
it's gonna start to wither away.
Right.
And that's what started happening to hip hop. Like I have certain opinions with artists that are out now that everybody's like, oh, he's so dope, he's so dope. Is he dope in a time where everything is whack? Because if we go back to the 90s where you have DMX, Jay-Z, Nas, like everybody was dope. Like you can't name.
Be careful, my two favorite rappers now. Them three, Nas and DMX.
DMX is one of the, my most my largest inspirations.
Word.
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Because DMX was always honest, and I'm not saying nobody else is honest, but the same DMX that you heard on those tracks was the same DMX causing trouble out in the world, getting in trouble. Like it was always him, and he told you, "Look, I got a dark side," and
he wasn't ashamed of
it. Was.
Now, my thing with J. Cole is, and that's your boy and whatnot. I'm gonna take it easy.
Okay.
I feel like with him, I feel like he speaks for this generation, but I really do feel like he speaks for where he's coming from. Now, as a dude from New York, what I'm saying, I can understand it, but I can't, really process it because I never really been through that. I don't know what it's like to be in Fayetteville. I don't know what it's like to be, on the Merc. I don't know what it feels like, to go through some of the stuff that he went through in high school. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I get what you're saying about DMX.
Yeah, man. I mean, that guy is don't come at me with no bullshit.
Right.
It's caution, because when I went, I did like abortions. Like it was like for
that's real though. That's real.
Extortion and racketeering, rap fearing. What you heard is what you hearing. How much darker must it get? How much harder must it hit?
Yo.
See my heart when I started.
Pull up a DMX track. Yo, pull up a track.
I love man. Like it's and the thing is, a lot of the game. Now I will say this: J. Cole does have it. I'll never hate on J. Cole. I'll never hate on J. Cole. Never. That man. I mean, he does what he does. The only opinion I really ever had of J. Cole after listening to his music is that, which I kind of felt, I was like, is that to me, Forest Hills Drive was just a North Carolina version of Good Kid, Mad City.
Thank you. I said that too.
And that's just how I felt.
Honestly.
But, and the thing is, I wanted it to be so much more than that.
I feel like it was a North Carolina anthem. I feel like that was an anthem album.
It was, and that's not bad.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Okay, so appearance, let's go follow on this are y'all familiar with the rap group Onyx?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, how y'all feel about them?
They do. I mean, classic.
Now, I'm gonna keep it real. They scared me with their music. I'm gonna keep it real with you because, like, I felt like.
In what way?
They was always so hardcore because they represent hardcore hip hop. However, I didn't feel like they have a message. I just feel like they represented, roughness. I feel like there was no point with their music. Like my favorite rapper is Fabulous. Chill out, relax. My favorite rapper is Fabulous. Now the reason why he's my favorite rapper is because one, he's underrated and he talks about something. Like for example, the OG Project. He went all the way back to like the days, like back in the 80s and the 90s in New York. Stuff that, most people from like my family generation, they could relate to. And then also what he does is he can relate to some stuff that's going on now, like stuff like, let me see, how far can I go back? Like the Soul Tape 1 and 2. He related stuff that was going on in the present time, like with the Instagram and social media and love and stuff like that. Like I can relate to him. So like, So another question I would have is like, who is like one like what are some artists that y'all can relate to?
You can go first. I was talking for a minute. That's gonna take me.
Honestly, I relate to the people that I work with. So, I mean, I relate to Konvo, Rowdy, you know, a couple other guys that I work with. But I mean, mainstream-wise, it's kind of hard to relate to people that you don't really know. Like, that kind of goes back to our previous conversation about, you know, the state of hip-hop. You know, a lot of us won't support each other. You'll go and buy a Young Thug tape, but you won't cop my mixtape from $10 off of me.
Okay.
But you'll support somebody who don't care about you, who don't even know your name, who probably won't even shake your hand if they see you in the street.
Yeah, I wouldn't shake Young Thug's hand, to be honest with you.
I mean, neither would I, but you know,
might
but still,
he
you
might
know
lick
what I'm
my
saying.
hand
But a
for
lot
all
of people look up to him. That's probably nowadays that's somebody's hero, and you know, it's
See, but
and that is what that is. I want to say that that's sad to say, but you know, but it is. You know, but it is what it is.
but that's what I was gonna say. Based on that, I don't think people really look to somebody to relate to anymore. Because look at what happened. And look, I'm from New Jersey. I love Fetty Wap because I know exactly what he's talking about. Like when he's talking about that trap queen stuff, I know that's real. But when I see everybody dancing to trap queen, and I know they don't know what trap queen is, or they talk about, oh, I'm trap queen, like because they might push some kind of, you know, leaf. That's not how, you know, when you're dancing to it and everything, you know, you having fun, but you gotta realize what you're dancing to. You know what I mean? Like that's not something necessary to look up to.
But people do.
They do.
That's exactly like with the J. Cole thing with the where you're talking about nice watch running or whatever. Like a lot of people, they're like, okay, he's just saying something, but they don't realize like that's a part of Murchison Road. Like, or I'm not necessarily from Fayetteville. I'm from Rayford, but most of the time we have to do
that's Fayetteville.
It's
I know,
Fayetteville.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm about to say, I got a homie
so
from
yeah, that's fair.
It's Fayetteville, but I mean, I know how it is. Like, basically, that whole mixtape. Well, not mixtape. Lord, I'm sorry. It's an album. That whole album was like basically like the keys of what Fayetteville is. Like, every part of it, I could like understand. Like, okay, he talking about Merchant Road. Oh, he talking about Bragg Boulevard. You know, like, you know, and a lot of people can't relate. But at the same time, they dancing to it, saying, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm J. Cole's best friend, I'm this, you know, whatever." But you ain't never stepped on Murchison Road and like interacted with any of the people.
So you feel like you have to be from a place to enjoy the music?
You
I mean, you don't.
There's a difference between enjoying and emulating.
Thank you.
There's a very big
there you
difference
go.
between that, and a lot of people get lost in emulating something that they have no clue about.
Okay. I'm gonna give you an example. So, okay.
Damn, sorry, let the guest talk.
I'm sorry, but it's real though, because think about it. Like, we from New York, okay? So we can relate to some of the stuff that Biggie Smalls was talking about. Correct? Right? Now, somebody from Atlanta, do you think that they can relate to what Biggie's talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How so?
Because Biggie was talking about getting clean and getting money, and who in Atlanta do you know that don't have money? To live in Atlanta, you gotta have bread.
What? To live in New York, you gotta have bread.
Same difference. Either way, you gotta have money to live in those type of cities, those
He's
environments.
right on that.
But I think
fast paced. And who can't relate to somebody who just speaking about their life? Like Biggie was raw and honest. Biggie was like, yo, I'm not the most attractive dude. I'm fat, but yo, I got bars. I'm confident in who I am, and I'm cool with it.
I don't know, because I had questions about Biggie sometimes, especially after I watched. Like, man, like Biggie always now we've seen Biggie. We've seen Biggie. We know what Biggie looks like. One of his things that he said, you know, he was like talking about starving. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even making jokes. It's like Biggie don't look like he missed a meal. And I'm not saying anything about his lyrical talent. But I've seen, like, when you look at interviews and they interview his mom, and his mom say something like, "Nah, Biggie didn't starve." Then I'm like,
that is true.
When I look at something like that, I'm like, oh.
So basically, you question the authenticity of some of his stories, because the thing about Biggie is he came from the hood, and he always tells these stories of having a hustle, having to sell drugs to, you know, take care of his daughter and things like that. And I was reading an article. I was on YouTube, and Mojo, I think that's a channel. They was doing top 10 beefs, and they was doing a Biggie and Tupac beef, and they was saying, like, as far as street cred goes, both Pac and Biggie was discrediting each other's street cred in terms of, oh, you ain't do this, you ain't really do that. So is that kind of where you coming from? Because I know a lot of artists these days kind of have that same, oh, I was doing this, I was doing that, and really don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just a street cred, because I don't think starving is a part of street cred.
True.
I mean, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't care. Like, just because I'm fat, I know if I'm hungry, I'm gonna get something to eat.
Got that right.
I'm gonna find a way.
Okay.
I'm hungry, I'm like, I gotta eat. But
Okay.
it's really the authenticity. Like that's why that's like not even to bring it up, but like when it came out, you know that when it came out that Drake might have been having ghostwriters, that was a big problem for me because I spend my time daily writing everything I have, and I see how some artists write everything they have, and it's like, dang, so y'all support a person who can't be real with y'all.
Right. And we were just talking about that. It turned out to be true, right? Because Quentin Miller was writing his material.
Right.
So why do you think that Drake is still on top? I feel like that was it was swept under the rug because it's like 1 minute we heard about it, the next he has a number one. You know what I'm saying?
I think because it's like Drake.
He's a female.
I think she's right though. Because this is the conversation that me and Konvo was having the other day, and he was like, "Yo, Drake is kind of like in a Monty suit." That was you, right? Yeah. He's like Drake is kind of like a Monty suit. Like, yo, anything he puts his name on is nice. Like that Fetty Wap single, it was nice. No, I can't discredit him. It was dope.
I do like it better with Drake though.
But Drake throw that joint on it, and of course everybody likes it better. They want to spin it 100 million times. They want to run it back. They dropped Monty's verse on it.
There you go. It's a good
Like,
interview.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
did.
he's a brand name now, so it's kind of hard to discredit like a brand name. That's like somebody saying something about Jordan right now.
That is true.
You can have a stat. Yo,
We ain't gonna touch on that one. Because guess what? Because guess what? We watched Jordan dribble the ball.
Right.
Nobody watches Drake write or watches Quentin Miller write his rhymes.
But
and
what
then,
I'm saying is, if you compare the stats, like there's a bunch of stat comparisons of Mike and LeBron at their same times in their career, regardless of who had more years in the game. Somebody's stats outweigh the other, and everybody always got something to say about it. But that is what it is right now.
okay, but Michael's version of you either did it or you didn't was you were either good or you weren't.
Okay.
Drake's version of you either did it or you didn't was you either wrote it or you didn't.
Okay, right. And didn't Drake say something about rappers not writing their own lyrics? I feel like there was some song where he said, like he mentioned it, right? I mean, I don't know. I think Drake is dope, but I mean,
I don't think he wrote it.
what you mean?
I don't
You
think I don't think he writes his raps.
He don't.
He may
doesn't.
critique it and switch it up a bit to fit from where he from.
Right.
You know how y'all said like people they talk about what they've been through, what they've
At
done.
least they should.
all
And that's real for me.
Yeah.
When rappers talk about where they're from.
And when you hear one of Quentin Miller's tracks, you hear him talk about something completely different. And then you hear Drake, and he's talking about Toronto, him growing up, and stuff. Yeah, on the same track.
Right.
So it's like he makes it fit him, his personality, who he is.
Did anybody mention Mos Def in here? 'Cause I think Mos Def is one of my biggest musical influences. Because Mos Def is, he's, first of all, his Black on Both Sides album is real.
Mathematics.
Real.
Mathematics and Miss Fat Booty. Mathematics and Miss Fat Booty.
Like, honestly, when I started to like write again, because I've been on and off writing. I've been writing since 7th grade. But when I need inspiration, and not in terms of, oh, I'm going to emulate his style, but just when I'm like, let me hear what real rap sounds like, I'm like, let me put on Mos Def. Real quick, though. Oh, damn. See, y'all put the pressure on me, made me forget my question. Damn.
And that's $1.
That's $100.
We're gonna start a coin bank for you. Every time you say a cuss word, you putting $1 in the
Bible
pot.
said where he from, they pull up to your car and say, run it. Where I'm from, they snatch you out your car. Boys, start running.
Who is that?
That's me.
That's him.
That's you?
Yeah, that's because what is Jersey known for? Stealing cars.
Stealing cars.
We finna wrap this up.
I seen your girl post a BM, so I hit her in the DM.